Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman and I am a witch. I want to confess that I'm still practicing witchcraft, and this is what has brought me to your channel. I started being a witch. I was initiated into witchcraft when I was still very young, when I was still in high school. That was when I was initiated into witchcraft by this other teacher who used to teach us when we were in high school. It is very important, if you have your own child, to always know what your child is always up to. Otherwise, your child can be initiated into Satanism without you ever knowing. So what made this teacher to initiate me into witchcraft? She knew that my parents, they would never find out. My parents, they were very poor. I was one amongst the brightest students at our school. So the teacher, she liked me quite a lot, and I did not know that she was doing this so that she can get the opportunity to initiate me into witchcraft. So she would say that I should wait for him until she would knock off from work. Then she would go with me to her house. When we would have gone to her house, she would tell me to wash the dishes to help her, because she was staying at the school premises. That was where all the teachers in our village used to stay, in the school premises where they taught. So I would help her. I would do all the household chores whilst she would be doing other things. After I would have finished doing the household chores, my teacher, then she would give me some food to eat. She would say, when you are eating, my child, do not eat whilst you are facing the sun. If she would give me food, she would make me sit with my back against the sun until I would have finished eating. Then I started to have weird dreams. I would have dreams where I would be dancing in the graves, and I would be playing with people that were dead, people that I knew had passed away and had been buried at that same graveyard. I would be playing with those people. As time went on, I started to see hyenas. I started to see all the birds of the night, and I used to play with snakes when I would be at the graves, until she told me that I was a witch. She was also a witch. So that is how I got initiated into witchcraft. Fast forward, when I was now initiated into witchcraft, there was one amongst my auntie. My mom, she used to tell me stories on how she met with my father. And when she told me all of these stories, how she met my father, she told me that her marriage was not easy when she started staying with my father, because her auntie was the one who did not want her to get married to my father. So this auntie of mine, she was my father's sister. So she said that since my mother came from a very poor family, she had brought with him the spirit of poverty. Therefore, she was supposed to be returned back to her people, which was very painful to my mother. That is what she told me. She was embarrassed in front of her relatives by my auntie. So she still had that bitterness. So once I got these spiritual powers, I then told myself that with these spiritual powers that I had gotten, what I wanted to do was something that was simple. I wanted to bewitch my auntie. So I was given the powers to enter into her dreams. We used to go to the village where she was staying with her husband. When we got to her household, she saw me and she was like, Susan, it is you. You have remembered me, my brother's daughter. What are you doing here, Susan? So I was holding a plate that was full of food. I had cooked rice, but this was spiritual rice that is meant to be given to a person that you want to bewitch. When I was inside of her house, I then told her that I had prepared some food for her. I then managed to get into her dreams, and now she was dreaming about me. I then offered her the food, and she took the rice, the plate of rice from me, and I told her to eat, I said, "Auntie, please eat this rice that I have cooked for you." She was eating the rice, but what she did not know, Auntie did not know, that this rice that I had prepared for him, it was full of charms, it was full of curses that were going to make him so sick, and she was going to die. In the afternoon, what we had done when we were busy preparing this plate of rice for her, the food that we were cooking in the spirit, we took some worms. Yes, we took worms and we put them in the food, and when she ate those worms, and the worms got into her blood system, and she started to get sick. People did not even understand what was happening with her because she was sick, and then those worms, they became maggots, and these maggots, they started to eat her flesh. My auntie, she started to rot whilst she was alive, and those maggots, they would eat her from the inside. This is what happened to my auntie, and this was my own way of revenging the things that she had done to my own mother. My auntie, she died, and it was a very painful way that she passed away. And I told myself that I did what I had to do because I wanted my auntie to suffer until she dies. When we buried my auntie, we continued bewitching people. We would move from one place going to another place. We did this to our enemies. We did this to the people that we thought were progressing in life. And there is a particular story that I had forgotten to tell you, Brother Nashi. There was this other woman whom we used to go with to the same church. This woman, she thought that she was more than special than anyone in church, and God listened to him more than anyone, yet she had some skeletons in her closet. I want your people to know that if you are not that close to God, do not try to pray for people, because if you try to make demons suffer and then they see that you do not have the power of the Holy Spirit inside of you, you will suffer in return. So there was one Sunday when she was meant to be the main preacher of the day. So she started preaching, and then she said that she wanted to pray so that those that did not have the Holy Spirit can have the Holy Spirit now living inside of them. And then she started praying for the whole congregation. She touched me and she started to pray for me, and the demons in me, they got mad. Later that evening, we then went to her house and we found her sleeping. Her house, I thought that it was going to be covered by the fire from heaven, but her house had its door wide open. If you are not a prayerful person, the doors to your house, to your soul, they are always wide open for people like us to enter and to do what we want, and we leave your house after we have bewitched you. Me and my friends, we laughed so loud when we were by her gate, when we saw that all the doors and the windows to her house were wide open. We got in there. Even the witches that were still learning, we taught them on that woman. She started to fight with her husband. We wanted to embarrass him. We then inserted this other charm. When we insert that charm into your private part, you will become like a prostitute. And a prostitute is better, because a prostitute, when she sleeps with a man, she do it so that she can get money. But when we give you this charm, when we insert this charm in your private parts, when you are fast asleep, you are worse than a prostitute. Why? Because you will be sleeping with men, not because you want money from those men that you will be sleeping with, but you will be doing it because you just want your private part to have some penetration. So this charm, this is the way that we make it. We make this charm by taking the fat that comes out when a dog is in heat, a female dog, when it is in heat, there is some fat that comes out of its private part. So we take that and then we mix it with some charms, and then we insert those charms in your private part. So you would be like a female dog that is in heat, and men will be chasing after you, and men will never give you rest. Even if you are married, your husband can catch you cheating on him and he can forgive you, but you will return back to the same things that you were doing, because there will be a spirit that will be controlling you. If you see those women, especially women, those that just date men for no reason, she might be someone that is broke, but you see men going in and out of her bedroom, yet she continues being broke. She might be a rich woman, yet she sleeps with everything that works. It might be that the woman has been bewitched, and she has been bewitched using that same charm. It is quite dangerous. So I want people to also know that it happens, and if you are a loose woman, maybe you need to investigate yourself to see if there is no one like me who has used those charms on you. So after we had killed my auntie for the sake of revenging my mother, the bitterness that she had in her heart, then I started dating and I got married. I was then told by the evil queen mother, when she was still alive, she was very evil and she had no negotiations with anyone in our club. If she tells you that you have to sacrifice such a person, you had to sacrifice that person. I was told to sacrifice the men that I had a child with, and I did as I had been instructed to do. And then I had other men as well that I slept with, and then I had kids with them. I was told to sacrifice those men again, and I sacrificed all of my children. The last one that I sacrificed, she had her own child, whom I saw that the child was born with a gift, and I was scared that the child, when they are all grown up, they will expose me for my witchcraft. Then I ate my grandchild and my daughter as well. So here I am. You might ask yourself, why are you saying this confession? What are you looking for? What do you want to achieve? I am looking for a man. I have tried your dating app, but it is taking too long for me to find a man. I want a man so quick so that we can have a child together, and I want to have a baby. Now I think that I won't have to sacrifice the men that I would have slept with, because our queen mother is dead. We have a new queen mother. At least she is not as cruel as the queen mother that we used to have. If there is any man that wants me, they can leave their phone numbers and I would speak with them. All that I want from that man is for the man to give me a child, nothing else. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. She is looking for a man that can give her a child. So if you want him, maybe you can leave your phone numbers in the comment section. Tell me what you think about that. Strange things they do happen in this world. Then there is another message that was sent to me. The message that was sent to me, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I honestly need help from your listeners. I'll just say that I'm staying in Zola, but that is not where I am staying. But I am staying here in Johannesburg. My parents, they left the house for me, and I've never told anyone this story, but this is exactly what is happening in my life. I really feel bad, even when I try to think about all the things that I have done. I feel as if I am betraying my fellow South Africans because of the things that I did and the things that I'm still doing. So I have made money, but the money that I have made, it does not belong to me. It belongs to other parents' kids, because I am stealing their dreams and I am stealing their money as well. And I look like I am a woman who is doing her business, but I don't have any business as such. Everything that people see, it is not even real. I have money, I dress nice, and I always look like life is treating me very well. But at night, I don't sleep. How can I sleep? Because at night, I would be moving around with my friends that are from outside of South Africa. And now I have initiated other South African women I am aged 38 years old. I would say that I was born and I was raised in Zola, here in Soweto. I got married very young. By the time that I was 21, I had 2 kids with my husband. To be honest, this man, he used to be someone that was good, but then when he got addicted after he had an accident, he said that his knee was always painful because when he had an accident, he broke his leg. In order for that pain to go away, he started by taking alcohol now and then, and the pain would go away. Before we knew it, we thought that he was healing, but he was becoming an addict. He would drink, he would cheat, he would beat me. And for years, I stayed because I told myself that I wanted my marriage to work since he had paid the bride price for me. We lived in my mom's RDP house and we survived, and we did not live inside the house when my mom was still alive. We had built a 2 backyard rooms, and then after my mother had passed away, we moved into the main RDP, and then we built more rooms at the back, and we started renting them out to make ends meet. That is how this woman came into my life. So this Zimbabwean woman, I will say that she was in her late 40s. She has since passed away. She came to my house and she told me that she was looking for a place to stay, even though she was a Shona speaking woman, but I did not even suspect that she was from Zim. She spoke very good isiZulu, and I thought that she was a South African, but the more that I dig in deep about him, that was when I discovered that she was from Zim. She told me that she was a hairdresser and she would be paying me each and every month, and she asked me if she could also do people's hair at my yard when she was not in town. No fuss, no drama, this was okay. And she told me that she was also a prophet, so regularly people would be visiting so that she can pray for them. With some challenges that I used to see in my life, I said, if this woman who is a prophet starts to stay at my house, then it means that maybe she can assist me, because I knew that there was something that was wrong spiritually that was happening in my life. It is just that I did not know exactly where the problem was coming from. So at night I would always have dreams, and sometimes I would even go outside, because all of my tenants, there was no one who had a child. But around 12 a.m. almost every night, the first few weeks that this woman started staying at our house, later on she told me that she spoke with a tokoloshi, and she told a tokoloshi that it was being restless and she was going to get kicked out of the place where she was renting, like what had happened the previous time. And she told me after she had initiated me into witchcraft, and I would always hear a baby that will be crying. She told me that this baby that was crying, it was her tokoloshi. There were things that were supposed to be done, and she would send the tokoloshi to one of her cousin's sister, because that was like a mother to that tokoloshi. And that woman, she was now praying. She was a prayer warrior. So now her being a prayer warrior, whenever that tokoloshi will go there, the tokoloshi would see that there would be an angel that will be standing guarding the house, and it would come back crying because it was hungry. This she told me after she had initiated me into witchcraft. And then one day when I had a fight with my husband, I went and I told her that I wanted her to pray for me. She prayed for me, and she told me that my husband was the one that was blocking my progress. She told me that if I remove my husband, then I was going to be okay, because my husband was the one that was feeding off my good luck. And I agreed. The night when my husband and I had a bad fight, I ran outside and I sat on the stoop. I was crying. My children were asleep. My husband, he had gone out to buy some more alcohol, and he threatened to come back and beat me. That was when this same woman appeared out of the darkness. She did not even asked me what had happened. Somehow she knew that I had a big fight with my husband, and she said to me, "You are tired, I can help you, but you must know that once I help you, there is no more coming back." She sat right next to me. Then she told me that her grandmother was a witch. She came from a very powerful family of healers in her village that I remember very well, in her country, in Gokwe, in Zim. She told me that she could change my life. She would help me to become an independent woman, to become rich, but I was supposed to have some witchcraft markings on my body so that I can become powerful spiritually. A week later, she called me to her room. It was the first time really that I had gone inside my tenant's room after she had moved in. I will never forget it. The room, I tell you, it was not even normal. From the inside, I saw that it was creepy. I saw that she had clay pots that were almost everywhere. Some were filled with water, ash, and then I saw that she had some bones, and she had a mirror. And this mirror, what surprised me was that inside the mirror there were human faces that were watching me, and I saw that she had a big Bible, but this Bible, it was torn to pieces. Then she told me to bring my husband's t-shirt. I did as she had instructed me to do, and I took one of my husband's shirt, the one that he had worn the previous day, that still had his sweat on it. Out of anger, I gave it to him, and then she said that she was going to burn this shirt. She burnt my husband's shirt whilst she was singing in Shona, things that I did not even understand. And then she said to me, "It is done, you are going to see what is going to happen." My husband, that very same week, was hit by a taxi outside the tavern, and he died on the spot. That taxi ran away. No one even knew what happened with that taxi. For the first time in my life, I started to sleep peacefully. There was no more shouting. There was no more drunkenness in my life. We buried my husband. The people in the community, they saw me grieving. They did not even know that it was all a lie, and slowly my life started to change. I then joined a stokvel. After I had joined a stokvel, when I got my payout, and at that time, me and this woman, we had done a partnership. We had a hair braiding business, and this hair braiding business, it was now attracting customers like I had never had in my entire life. And relatives, they would come to me, and I was the one that was assisting everyone. That woman, I went to her and I thanked her completely, and she told me that since now I was okay spiritually, there were other things that were supposed to be done. She told me that I was supposed to buy a black cat. She even told me where I could get a black cat from this other shop. At that shop, they sell pets. I had to sacrifice the money that I had been given by my tenants on that month end to go and buy a cat, for she told me that this cat that I was going to buy, it was the one that was going to bring me more money. After my tenants had given me money for rent on that month, we then went out and we bought a cat. It was a black kitten, and she told me that I was supposed to slaughter that cat. After I had slaughtered the cat, then I ate pap with the meat of that cat. Then I bought another cat, and this was the one that started to give me money. Today I have 10 black cats that I own. So these black cats, even though they are normal cats, but these are the cats that I use when I want to bewitch people in Soweto, where I am staying. I can send a cat, it can come into your house, it can even come and it will just sit close to your window watching you as you are doing whatever that you are doing. These cats, I can even send them in pairs. They will start to fight, like they will be fighting outside of your house even throughout the night. When they are fighting, you will think that these are cats that are just fighting, but they would be cursing you. And I sent these cats to steal food even from the people. You can be cooking. Before you start eating, you will feed my cats first. There are people that work for food. When I say that there are people that are working for food, You can be someone that is making a lot of money. Whilst you are making that money, you do not even know what happened whenever you get money. You always have problems. Your children are always sick. All of the money that you are working for at the end of the month, you just buy food. It is because you will be feeding cats sometimes that belong to witches like me. I have disturbed a lot of people in the community. I have 2 saloons, I have a taxi, and I am building a double-story extension on my house. It's not like I am hardworking, but they do not know that I am taking their money. When I see that you are someone that is earning money that is a lot, I send the cat to you each and every month, and when you have gotten your money, if you are someone that is not prayerful, the moment that you step into your house, whether the money is in your account, then you will give that money to the cat will bring that money to me physically, and in your bank account you will just be left with you will see the money in your bank account, but that money, when you sit down, you will ask yourself, what did I do with this money? When you write everything on paper, it will be like everything is adding up, but when you think about it again, you see that in the house there is no nice food. In the house, your kids don't even have nice clothes to wear, but you are working just like what everyone is doing. It is because you would have given my cats money. I am building this house using my neighbors' money. They go to work, yet I am the one that is enjoying the fruits of their labor. This is my confession. It has been a long time that I have been doing this, but honestly speaking, it really makes me feel bad about the things that I have done, because I have watched families suffering after I would have started using charms on them financially. When they are suffering, I have seen families that break apart. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. It has reminded me of this other story that was sent to me by our brother. I'll give you a narration. So our brother, the message that he sent to me, he said, "Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man who is working as a doctor here in South Africa. Working as a doctor here in South Africa, people expect a doctor to be living a good life, staying in a nice neighborhood, driving a nice car, but no such things are happening in my life. Me and my wife, we are suffering like we have never suffered in our life like ever before." So this is what happened between me and my wife and my relatives. After I had bought a car, the pastor at our church told me not to return back to Zim with that car because he had seen in a vision that I was going to get bewitched. But I wanted to go and show my relatives that I had made it in South Africa. We then went to Zim, me and my wife. When we arrived in the village, that was when one of my uncle, who helped me to go to school till I went to university, he said that we were supposed to thank the ancestors for I had bought a car in South Africa. So I did not want to do that because I am a Christian. When he said that he wanted to pour traditional beer on the wheels of my car, I did not want that. But then he started to cry and he said, "My son, you are the ones that I used to suffer for. Remember that I took you to school. If I wanted to bewitch you, why did I not bewitch you when you were still in high school, even in university, after you had graduated? So you think that I would wait all these years that I can bewitch you now, yet I had all the opportunity in the world to bewitch you when you were still very young." So then I took the traditional beer and then we started to pour the traditional beer on the wheels of my car, and me and my wife, we then returned back to South Africa. Then our problems started. Right now, me and my wife, we are suffering. As for the vehicle, it is so damaged that the bill that they gave us at the dealership, I saw that me and my wife, with the way that our finances are right now, we can never be able to raise so much money. So this is where I am right now. I am suffering. We went to the pastor, and the pastor said, you remember that I told you not to go to Zim with the car yet. Look at you now. This car is so much damaged. You can't even drive it. You can't even fix it anymore. So this is my own confession that I have sent to you. I want people to know that witchcraft is for real. And when we returned back from Zim, our finances got so bad, so much bad, that I am a doctor, but when I go to work, I use a taxi. As a doctor, it is not easy for you to use a taxi. You need your own private car, but I can't afford a car right now because of the situation that me and my wife, we are facing. When you post my story, please tell me. I will follow through in the comment section. I did not listen to the pastor's advice. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to talk with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.